It's like having a tube and a syringe, and you're pumping the mucus and the phlegm inside the holes, the alveoles of the lung, and it starts to populate it, right?
Yeah.
And it gets so full up, it starts to fill up your bronchial tubes, which is where your air comes in, right?
Okay.
Now that's when you start getting asthma, serious hay fever, terrible sneezing, inflammation of the lungs, inflammation of the liver as a byproduct of this problem.
Guys, we're going to the next part of the show, which is the extensive wellness section with the one and only Ronald. Good morning, Ronald. Ah, gosh, it's lovely.
Every time I wake up in the morning, I say to myself, Lord, thank you, I'm still alive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
I'm going to say, no matter what happens, things will work out okay.
That's it. That changes everything, right? It's like if we start with a negative outlook, we've already put a weight on ourselves. Then life starts to happen, and we're like, oh, and by the time we get to the afternoon, we're already buried. So we need to have that uplifting outlook from above. Yeah, definitely. So what we got for us today?
Anyway, I'll just recall back what I said before.
Yes.
I want you to imagine like you're a whale, and like about 30 years ago, and then they would chase you with a harpoon, right? And the harpoon is made up of about the point of the harpoon, which is a very pointed blade, and then you've got the hooks afterwards, like the actual blades, right? Mm-hmm. So when it goes inside you can't get it out. You're hooked up, and then bring you back with that. See?
Yeah.
So pollen, I was amazed when I saw it to what I call a microscope. When 80 grain of pollen, and I mean in any country, will have that ability to penetrate into your septum, which is the part of your nose where it's most sensitive, right?
Wow.
And in a lot of cases, because people are lacking vitamin C, for example, or lacking some what I call prophylactic, in other words, a natural prophylactic, in other words, an antibody, right?
Yeah.
What actually happens, the moment that harpoon goes in, it goes in and then it hooks back, so you can't get it out, right? Mm. So the idea is to prevent the penetration of the septum in the nose. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Gotcha.
Right? So in other words, if you strengthen the tissue, when the harpoon comes in, it washes out.
It won't affect you. Okay, all right, I get it now. Yeah.
So what actually happens? A lot of reason why the human body can't take pollen, or you get hay fever, or you get mucus problems, is three key reasons. One is people are often allergic to milk, cow's milk. Okay.
Okay.
Now I've proven, and again, that the Indian race, the Pakistani race, the Bangladeshi race, and the Chinese race, and some of the African races are allergic to milk, to cow's milk, right? For example, in part of Africa where the Zulus are, they don't actually drink the cow's milk at all.
Yeah.
They eat the blood of that's what they do. They eat the blood of the cow as part of their protein. Right?
Oh wow!
But they do not use the milk, right? So because they know they're lactose intolerant. Okay,
and we're not saying for people to go start drinking cow's blood, okay, guys? No, this is an observation that Ronald has discovered. Okay, just saying.
It's an observation. Now, so what actually happened is that, when I worked in Malaysia, Australia, and so on, and Singapore, I discovered in New Zealand, there was this link between those races, right? And a lot of the blacks that were taken as slaves and went to Africa or UK for a start, they actually were bringing the genes with them, which showed that they were lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
So when the American farmers were working with them and giving them cow's milk, they were sick. There were these really strong guys who would become sick and they couldn't figure out it was the milk that was doing it because it was normal.
Mm-hmm.
And the white farmers were drinking the milk and they were okay, right? Yeah. So this milk, unfortunately, there's a lot of products today that are very rich in cow's milk, like cheddar cheese. Those very heavily processed cheeses like made from cow's milk. So the mucus builds up. Now, there's the key. If you look at your lungs are huge. Your lungs start from the top of your collarbone right to your last rib on the right side and the left side.
Yeah, they're massive, isn't it?
It's that big. So if you look at your collarbone, you're wearing collarbone right on top of your chest, right?
Yeah.
And you go all the way down to the last rib. Last rib.
Oh wow.
Now that's what the rib cage is. Okay, that is the size of your lungs, right?
Wow.
Now, so your lungs are made up of these tiny little sacs called alveoles, right? Alveoles, right? I learned that long time ago. So those alveoles, when they start getting mucus, for example, when the pollen comes in, and so the body creates mucus if it's so prone, it creates the mucus, and the mucus starts to build into the alveole and starts to fill up your lungs with this mucus.
Okay.
This phlegm.
Okay.
And
wow.
So it's like having a tube and a syringe, and you're pumping the mucus and the phlegm inside the holes, the alveoles of the lung, and it starts to populate it, right?
Yeah.
And it gets so full up, it starts to fill up your bronchial tubes, which is where your air comes in, right?
Okay.
Now that's when you start getting asthma, serious hay fever, terrible sneezing, inflammation of the lungs, inflammation of the liver as a byproduct of this problem, right?
Okay.
So that's why I recommend to people that first of all, if they're allergic to cow's milk, for example, cow's cheese, don't even. I've had people say to me something like, "Well, if I can't take cow's milk, can I have cheese?" And I say, "Look, get it right. When you have cheese, a kilo of cheese, say." A kilo of cheese, you need 5 litres of milk. 5 to make that. So you're eating a lot more concentrated milk in the cheese.
Okay.
So consider eating goat cheese. Goat cheese is alkaline.
Okay.
Cow's cheese is acidic.
Okay. So I'm gonna come back a bit. So okay. So just a few words you touched on. So you touched on mucus, yeah. So mucus is like a gunk, right? If I was to use layman's terms, it's like a gunk. Yes. And then when you ingest that into your body for things like milk, etc., right?
Yes.
Cheese. Yes. You can have a mucus build up in your lungs. It can affect your lungs. Yes. Okay.
And literally, you can have as much as a pound. A pound or half a kilo of mucus in your lungs. That's how much you can have.
Mm-hmm. Right? I'm just trying to see if I can get a picture of some lungs that could show up on the screen.
That would be quite eye-opening to see how big the lungs are. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's the good thing is that hay fever season in the UK actually starts around April, May.
Yep.
It starts to get.
I felt it. I felt it.
Yeah, exactly. So and hay fever, if you're prone to hay fever, you're definitely going to attract mucus building in your lungs and your bronchial. You will. Yeah. Because that is nature's way of washing the pollen out of your nose.
Okay. So when we're seeing all of that stuff coming out of us, it's just our body trying to solve the problem.
Yes, because the body says, I've got this problem, I've got this allergen that's causing my blockage in my lungs, right? So therefore I must sneeze, I must cough, I must spit out the stuff, but
Yeah.
it's not that easy because it is like a gunk, like an old grease that's sitting in an old motor.
Oh,
you
wow.
have to flush it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to flush it out.
Okay.
So I use one of the key products I recommend, and I use myself, Petrina as well, is Fenugreek. Fenugreek.
Fenugreek.
Right?
Okay.
Fenugreek. Now, in Indian, it's called methi. The Indian people will relate to that. Methi, M-E-T-H-I, right? Methi. So they have different names in different nationalities, but by and by, the actual basic name is Fenugreek, right?
Okay.
And it's a little yellow seed. Now, the Indians are very good at using it in curries and drinks, but sometimes they don't always use it to remove mucus, so they just use it as a spice.
Okay.
Right? It's a very pungent spice, right? Now, one of the best things you can do is if you feel you've got mucus in your lungs and you want to get rid of it. Now, it is a very normal thing that the body will create a lot more mucus if you tend to be allergic to pollen. Okay? You'll definitely get it. And it will build up and build up. And unfortunately, it will build up right through summer. And then when winter comes, you're so full of mucus, you get colds. You get colds, you get flu.
What a process. That's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it's a vicious circle. So this is why you've got to get rid of your phlegm. And that's another word. P-H-L-E-G-H.
Phlegm.
That's another word for mucus. The same thing, right?
Yeah.
But phlegm is probably better known. But so what happens, if you insist on putting chemicals up your nose or taking chemicals in your mouth, so from the chemist, all you're doing is masking the effect of the mucus coming out. You're blocking the mucus inside the lungs.
So you're not okay.
Remove the mucus. Remove it, right? Now, there's the interesting bit. When you use Fenugreek, I'm going to teach you, the mucus will come out and will be in different colours. Listen to this carefully. Now, if the mucus starts to come out as green, right, you'll find that's a severe infection. That's an infection inside your body.
Okay, so if mucus is coming out or phlegm's coming out of my mouth or nose, that's green, there's an infection.
Yeah, it won't be a dark green. It'll be like a light green, but it will be green.
Okay.
Right? So that means there's an infection in the body, right? Now, as you start to process yourself, the green out of it, in other words, you're killing the infection by eating the right foods.
Yep.
What actually happens, as it comes out, it then becomes a dark yellow, right? So that's not an infection anymore, but it's still phlegm, right? Dark yellow, and then it will be like a medium yellow, then a light yellow, then it becomes like a cream colour, like beige, and then it becomes white.
Oh, wow.
And that's when you know you're healing.
Okay.
And then eventually it becomes clear, completely clear.
Okay.
Right? That means the infection's over. It can take weeks. Right?
Wow.
So Fenugreek, I'll give you the recipe. So the recipe for removing the lungs, not the lungs, but the phlegm and
the mucus, and phlegm, yeah.
Now this is what we do. You take 3 teaspoons of fenugreek seeds. You can get it at any good Asian shop, but make sure it's still a very fresh seeds.
Yep.
Go to a shop that's got a big tire turnover, because if the fenugreek's too old, it will not be as effective.
So if it's one of those shops, if it's one of those local shops that like is in that corner and like, you know, they haven't tidied it up or anything and it's been there just doing nothing, avoid that shop if you want to buy fenugreek, right?
We're lucky in the area we're in, which is close to Barkingside. We've got a shop there that's been there for about 15, 20 years, and his turnovers are incredible. Every day he's turning over, right? So the fenugreek there is always clean. It's always like fresh. Right?
Okay.
So it's 3 teaspoons of fenugreek, okay? And you put that in a teapot. Yep. 3 teaspoons of fenugreek. You can also put the leaves in. If you can get the leaves in an Asian shop, ask them for methi, M-E-T-H-I, methi leaves.
Methi.
And put some of the leaves in. It's sort of like a roundish, like a little lettuce, like a lamb's lettuce. But you can get methi leaves, right? So you put about 2 tablespoons of methi leaves. Then you put 8 olive leaves from your own tree if you can. 8 olive leaves.
8 olive leaves. Yep.
Olive leaves, and then you put put 3 raspberry leaves.
Okay.
Right?
The raspberries are so common. They're so easy to get hold of.
You can, and then you put after that you put slippery film powder.
So,
Right? You can get that from a good health food shop.
what's that called?
Slippery, like you're slipping. Slippery. SLIPPERY, elm, ELM.
Elm.
Now that comes from Canada.
Okay.
There's a tree called the elm, and the local Indians called it Canucks. They use that for removing mucus from their lungs.
Okay.
You know, and soothing the stomach as well.
And it's a powder,
Right?
yeah?
Yeah, so you can get it from a health food shop. So you put a teaspoon of that, and finally you put 2 cloves of garlic. 2 cloves of garlic,
Ooh.
right? Preferably as fresh garlic, and you can also have about a teaspoon of grated ginger. Okay.
Ooh, that's gonna be potent.
That is a powerful combination.
Yeah.
Right? So
Wow.
That's your teaspoon. Okay, that's powerful, right? That is all designed to go inside the body, and first thing it does is calms the inflammation down. Because inflammation inside you creates phlegm, right? Because the body is very intelligent. It says, okay, I've got inflammation, so I create like a lubricant
Yeah.
to smooth the inflammation. The lubricant is the phlegm.
That's right. Okay.
So all this stuff starts to remove the phlegm out of you. It'll take a few weeks, right? Especially if you have not taken care of yourself for a long time, right?
Yeah.
And I know people suffer from here all the time, pretty well all year round, and this is pure winter, but they suffer from really bad mucus, right? That's because they've been eating all the wrong food all the time, right?
Gotcha.
So that combination of just giving you like slippery elm and all that, and the fenugreek, you put it in a teapot. I dedicate the teapot for that.
Yep.
Boiling hot water for about 7 to 8 minutes. You have it brew.
Yep.
They call it infuse. And then that'll give you like a greenish yellow mixture.
Yep.
Put that in your mug. You're quite a big mug. Put it in the mug. Add a teaspoon of Manuka honey.
Okay,
right?
1 teaspoon of
Manuka.
Manuka
Honey from 5+, it's quite okay.
Yep.
Because that's 35 to 31 blood, right?
Yep.
5+ is fine. Teaspoon of that. Stir it up. Because honey is also great anti-phlegm. It's also anti-inflammatory. Right?
Okay.
And don't use the honey that's like too commercially made. It had sugar to it. You want someone that's from your local beekeeper if you can.
Okay.
And then
So guys, you get that. Look for your local beekeeper if you can.
Yeah. Local beekeeper. They're called apiarists. APIARIST. There's plenty around. There's quite a few good beekeepers around. Huh? So, and I prefer to buy that and support these people because they're treating the bees properly. Right? Now, a lot of the commercial stuff that's available in the supermarket is added sugar, added water, added all kinds of fructose or sucrose.
Yeah, because I know time's been spent, but like you just mentioned that now, and I think this is quite an important thing to highlight to everybody, that you really need to look on the back of the ingredients of the honey. You know, because I saw one when I was actually in Brixton where it had like a honeycomb inside, and it looked like it had golden honey. But because of this thing that I learned, I looked on the back and it said honeycomb and syrup.
Yes.
And I was like, blasphemy!
Yeah.
Blasphemy! Abomination! Sorry?
Yeah. I got caught myself though with it. I just, without thinking, I just bought it. It's honeycomb and honey. That's just what I thought. That's the way honeycomb is normally kept, right, with honey. I picked it up, I got home and I looked at the back and it said, oh,
wow.
Honeycomb is sucrose.
What abomination.
No.
So look out for that, guys.
They're trying to get the best honey out of the honeycomb, and then put syrup in it, and then add sugar to it, and then
ridiculous money making. So absolutely. Okay. So we just need to round this up, Ronald. Let's do it. Go for it, friend.
Yeah. Now, if you're having severe hay fever, for example, or severe allergies, or severe type of virus, you need to drink that mixture 3 times a day.
Okay.
Every day. And then you need to do that until the phlegm starts to come out. You get it?
Okay.
And when the phlegm starts to come out, don't stop. Keep going. You got to keep going until there's no more phlegm left in your lungs.
Wow.
You get it?
What a glorious day.
And sometimes it can take a month. Sometimes it can take 3 months. Sometimes it can take 6 months. Now, if you've been sick for 30 or 40 years of phlegm, you're not going to get that out in 7 days. You need to keep at it. But the day comes when eventually the mucus is no longer that greenish, yellow, whatever, it comes out clean, like white. Almost clear. And at that point, your lungs are in magnificent condition.
Wow.
It means your lungs are clear.
And I think what you're sharing with us here, as you do every single week, Ronald, is that, when it comes to our health, everybody's looking for that one miracle pill. That miracle pill that you will take and you'll be like, I'm okay. But many times these things that we take in are just trying to cover over symptoms, but we're not dealing with the root of the problem, that could be happening in our bodies. So what you shared with us today is something that might take some gradual time to do, but sometimes we've taken a lot of time to put ourselves in ill health, and we want a wonder pill to solve all of those years of, bad practices. So this is something that if we put into practice, it's holistic, it's natural, our body will know exactly what to deal with it, and we can give ourselves a fresh new set of bagpipes in our lungs.
And by the way, don't be worried if you've got a 3-year-old or above. And I wouldn't give it to somebody below 3, but if you're 3 years old or above and they've got colds, they've got flu, they've got viruses, don't hesitate to give them this mixture. Do not hesitate, because even at 3 years old, if they've been fed cow's milk pretty well early in their, like even the 3 1 year old started eating cow's milk and cheese rolls, they've got phlegm. At 3 years old, they've got phlegm. They've got phlegm in the stomach. They've got phlegm in the lungs. Right?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
It's to make that mixture forward. Right? Now, I'll give you a clue. If you've got a 3-year-old or below that's got phlegm or fruit, you can give them slippery elm powder and a fenugreek in a tea. But don't add the other things. The slippery elm and fenugreek. You get it? These two are very powerful, very soothing. The slippery elm powder and the fenugreek seeds.
Excellent.
Right? But from 3 years old onwards, you can give them the whole artillery.
Okay. Ronald, we have a question here. We're about to wrap up. We've got it over time, but we're enjoying this. So we're just stretching this a little bit. Jeanette says, oh Lord, Robert, what if I can't get raspberry leaves or olive leaves?
You can get raspberry leaves and olive leaves on the internet.
Okay.
You can get on the internet and just type in olive leaves shops or olive leaves packaging, whatever, and you'll get it. Now, of course, I say that with a caveat. If you've got your own olive tree, it's so much better for it, because the olive leaves are powerfully clean and fresh, right? Now we've got 4 olive trees now. We've got 2 big ones and 2 small ones, right? So we've always got olive, and it's evergreen. That's the beauty about the olive leaves, right? It's evergreen. But if you come, you can get fairly good fresh olive leaves from a good source on the internet. Okay. Right? So just to add to that, raspberry leaf, what I would recommend, I'll pay £16 for a raspberry plant about 6-7 years ago. I've now got 35. Wow. 35 leaves, right? And so I can have that for 7 or 8 months of the year, and then when they start to drop the leaves in winter, I can keep the leaves in the refrigerator frozen. Oh wow! Amazing. So this is really an investment into your natural health, isn't it? When we say olive leaves here, it's like buy an olive plant. Young and you'll get the leaves. Raspberry leaves, raspberries grow so easily, and you can get the leaves. I've got loads of them in my garden. They just pop up all over the place, so just like let's have a frame of mind to invest in these type of things, to look after ourselves, right? We have Jennifer Allison saying that is a wonderful information. I definitely need to take this. Here. And she says slippery elm is also good for acid reflux. That's right. That is correct. Yeah. So a lot of people, when I say slippery elm, they go, what?
Me too. I was like that just before the program started. All right, Captain Hugo's giving me the look of justice right now, as we've all got into our deep conversation now. But there's so much to know. Yeah. All right. Look, you guys are going to be on later on, right?
I'd love to get the feedback from people who've tried this recipe.
Yes. All right, guys. So that's it. That's us done for today. I think we've covered all bases. We've done our book review. We've had a lot of fun, banter, laughter, and the sun is shining from inside of our hearts. I just wish you all well. Thank you, Ronald and Petrina, for being excellent. I wouldn't say guests because you're part of the furniture in this place. So just thanks for being excellent parts of the furniture on the Breakfast Show, joining us today, and for everything you shared with us. Yep.
Yeah, you're welcome. Always a pleasure to talk to you.
Absolutely. And thank you, Captain Hugo, for being a great man of sand. This is your Breakfast Show, guys. If you are watching on YouTube for the replay, check us out live on Liberty Radio. Be involved in the conversation on libertyradio.co.uk from 6:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. Just type in on the search, or just download the app. All right. And if you are watching on YouTube, like and subscribe to the page so you don't miss any more programs. This is it. I'm done. We're done. We're great. Until next time, ciao for now. Connect online Monday to Friday with special guests for inspiration, motivation to start your morning right. Music, banter, fun and laughter. Connect when you start your mornings with The Breakfast Show. Only on libertyradio.co.uk. That's right, The Breakfast Show is back. libertyradio.co.uk from 6:30 a.m.